Trauma doesn't just hurt you, it physically rewires your brain. Your nervous system becomes faster, your perception becomes sharper. You don't just see the world, you scan it for patterns that others miss. It's not anxiety, it's advanced recognition. The calmest person in the room is often the one whose brain learned to survive the most chaos. You didn't just endure, you recalibrated. You can always recognize them. They are not the ones shouting for attention. They are the quiet observers. They don't overshare their stories, and they certainly don't panic when the world around them feels like it's falling apart. But when something shifts in the room, even a micro-expression or a change in tone, they are the first to feel it. It isn't intuition in the magical sense. It's because they have survived too much, and their brain never forgot how to stay alive. Long-term emotional stress does more than just tire us out. It physically rewires the architecture of the human brain. The amygdala, our brain's alarm system, becomes hyper-responsive, staying in a state of constant, quiet vigilance. The nervous system learns a new language, the language of anticipation. It begins to expect the threat before it arrives. These individuals don't just think differently, they scan their environment with a precision most people never develop. They pick up on the smallest details, a tightening of the jaw, a brief silence, a shift in the way someone looks away. To an outsider, it might look like anxiety. But to those who have lived it, it is simply advanced pattern recognition. It's a survival mechanism that turned into a masterclass in reading reality, even when reality tries to hide. There is a profound paradox here. The calmest person you know is often the one who has survived the most chaos. When you have already navigated the most violent emotional storms, a daily conflict feels like nothing more than a breeze. They learn to regulate their own emotions because for a long time there was no one else there to do it for them. That composed exterior isn't coldness or a lack of feeling, it is self-mastery, a strength forged in the heat of the fire. But this level of hyper-awareness comes with a heavy price. It is deeply exhausting to always be on. They replay conversations in their heads, looking for the things they missed, anticipating scenarios that might never happen. Joy can feel temporary when you've been blindsided before. You learn to wait for the other shoe to drop. You don't fully trust the calm moments because you know how quickly the sky can turn dark and the wind can change. Psychology has a term for this: post-traumatic growth. It isn't about denial, and it isn't about pretending it didn't hurt. It is the ability to transform that pain into a rare kind of clarity. You are not broken, you have been recalibrated for depth. Research indicates that adversity often leads to higher levels of emotional intelligence and a much sharper intuition. It builds stronger boundaries and a capacity for crisis control that others might find impossible to achieve. People who have been through too much don't break easily because they have learned how to bend without snapping. Bending builds a unique kind of strength, a flexibility of the spirit that allows you to endure what would shatter others. Wisdom comes when you stop asking why the storm happened and start seeing the clarity you found within it. This wisdom was earned in the dark, forged in the very moments where you thought you wouldn't survive. Some grow up safe, and that's a gift. But others grow up strong, not by choice, but because they had no other option. If you recognize yourself here, know this. You aren't too sensitive or overthinking. Your brain adapted to keep you safe. You survived. So tell me, did life make you anxious or did it make you aware? When did you realize you had changed?